Alright, what's good, gamers? Butoff941 here. Today we're going to be talking about my thoughts on the Edge of Fate reveal event, video, stream, thing that they did, that Bungie did. But before we get too deep in the video, if y'all could click like and hit subscribe as well, that'd be really, really cool. I put out a video at least once a week on Fridays at noon Eastern time, and I really appreciate y'all to stick around for the future. We're getting pretty close to that 500 mark, and I'd like to hit that before the end of the year, so thanks. Alright, so this is kind of disorganized, but I kind of wanted to just get into it because I have a lot to say about the topic that everybody and their mother is talking about, because I have very strong opinions about it, so let's just get through this as fast as we possibly can. I was really hoping that we'd be leaving Sol at the start of this era. It's just like, not even getting all the way out there, but just seeing what else is beyond our solar system. This is cool, I guess. I have no problems with it, really. There's quite a large amount of our solar system that's unexplored, and many local mysteries, local given context, local mysteries left to figure out. So this is not a waste. I was just hoping that maybe we would see what it's like out there in Reese or other locations beyond our solar system's borders, but it's fine. The term Metroidvania is getting thrown around again, and will it actually be real this time? The dark matter abilities do seem to be pretty explicitly Metroidvania mechanics. Like, Matter Spark is literally Morph Ball from Super Metroid, just with Destiny Arc Lightning, and it's about traversal, and usually Metroidvanias lock you off from areas with obstacles you can't overcome without acquiring some form of traversal that you get from killing a boss or something. So, like, this seems to be pretty explicitly that. How much that actually affects anything, given that this seems to only exist on Kepler and be kind of a gimmick mechanic in the way that Deep Sight is, or those flowers inside the Traveler are, but I guess we'll see. We don't have a whole lot of information other than, like, the visuals and the names, so alright. When Ban Womack came onto the couch, the stuff that he talked about seems okay, and, like, I understand that a lot of people were pretty whelmed with the entire presentation beyond narrative beats and the Star Wars bullshit, which we'll get to. Don't fucking worry, I got some shit to say about that. But honestly, I think I prefer things to be less messy and exciting when we're restructuring the core skeleton of Destiny in the ways that were mentioned. Like, yeah, not having new abilities for our subclasses or whatever is kind of, maybe people were expecting a certain level of flash or new shit to play with beyond new locations and enemies, but I think that if we're going to restructure core systems, right, like Armor 3.0, Pursuit reclassification, monetization changes, which is a big part of it, despite that not really affecting our game directly, that is important. We are changing the way that paid content goes forward. It is not going to be, the seasons are not going to be a constant influx of cash anymore. So, we have to expect a certain level of restructuring. There are event schedule shifts, like the complete gear overhauls with the tier system, changing how the power level grind works, all of that shit, right? Like, I'd rather we nail those key shifts and get through the growing pains that come with any change to long-established systems, especially large restructures, and then start worrying about adding new abilities and other flashy things to the global sandbox once things calm down a bit, right? Like, Operation Health was incredibly important for maintaining R6 for as long as it, did. Obviously, that wasn't a permanent fix because the game is in a certain state right now and has been for a couple of years, but Operation Health kept it alive for at least 3 more, and that was an important, hey, our game has a lot of problems, we need to fix this, then we'll start adding stuff. I think that's really important right now. Get the skeleton finished, get the structure finished, get the base finished, and then, once everything's established, we can start adding cool shit. There's a fucking shooting range. Holy shit, that's awesome. Please let me test shit on dummy guardians with varying levels of resilience. It'd make weapon videos so much easier to make. Not that they're really hard in the first place, but just, like, actual testing data that doesn't require me to get my ass kicked in a PvP situation to know if something is going to be bad, you know what I mean? That'd be so cool. Maybe I'd actually be able to pivot away from vibes, because I could get real research done. And I've been asking for player-owned housing for a while. This is a step into some of the utility that would come with player-owned housing, in my opinion, so, like, I don't know. It's a cool idea. I'm coping really fucking hard right now, but it'd be really, really cool. Alright, now I'm gonna complain about Star Wars for the rest of the video. When I was listening to this at work on Tuesday, it was, I was pretty cool with everything mentioned and had no serious problems. And then I hear this.
But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate saga story, And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and like chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look. Okay,
Now, in every game that I've experienced a Star Wars crossover in, it has always sucked. Granted, I'm limited to 2 video games, which have serious problems already. Brawlhalla and the original Destiny 1. The Star Wars crossovers in Brawlhalla actively make the game worse. It's a fighting game, platform fighter, whatever, and animations and audio cues are incredibly important. And the Star Wars crossovers change audio files, change animations, and make certain particle effects messy. I would be fine with just SIG changes, but they changed the light attacks too. And I fucking hate fighting them. Whenever I load into a match and I see somebody has a lightsaber or a Star Wars crossover equipped on their character, I mute the game and I play better. Yeah, I'm bad, and I should just suck it up and get over it, but I feel like the Star Wars crossovers are paying to make the game actively worse, in Brawlhalla specifically. And the Destiny ones, dude, every time I run across a player with the Stormtrooper armor or the lightsaber brandishing emote, I just get the slightest bit tilted more. It feels invasive, almost. That really isn't the best word, but I can't think of a better one. Fuck you. But, like, it feels like something is coming in and going, hey, remember Star Wars? And, like, that's my reaction to what is essentially wallpaper. An entire expansion, though? What the fuck do you mean? And, like, yeah, it's an homage or whatever, but if it's just an homage, why are we licensing lightsabers, the Imperial March, the actual brandishing, the D11 blaster, all of this that's directly from a different universe? We're talking about credits in the description, the email that they sent out, or in the thing that's in the game right now. Like, we're talking about things that are from a different sci-fi universe. I am fully aware that Star Wars is one of the most influential properties on the fucking planet. Don't get me wrong. I get it, right? Destiny has shit that is pretty similar to Star Wars. But I think there is a difference between a direct, hey, here's the funny shit that, like, here's a nod to it, right? Like, somebody saying, I got a bad feeling about this, or something that looks like Stormtrooper adjacent, right? Like, those, I think those are fine as long as they fit the aesthetic, right? Like, I have a problem with the crossovers, but up until the Star Wars ones, maybe the Doki Doki one was a little egregious, but it's whatever. Oh, and the fucking Blanca mask from Street Fighter. The other crossovers, they were inspired pieces of armor. The ships and the sparrows and the ghost shells, I have a problem with those. But, like, the armor specifically right now, because that's the thing that I see the most. The Witcher one was inspired by The Witcher, but very much fit the aesthetic of Destiny. Even the Fortnite armor, the Warlock armor with the Kabuki mask, that's a direct character from Fortnite, but I still think it fit the Destiny aesthetic. Straight up, Star Wars, like, the Stormtrooper armor and Darth Vader armor, dude, that's just a Stormtrooper. It's just Darth Vader. You're emoting with a lightsaber. I hear the fucking TIE Fighter noise. The Imperial Klaxon and the Imperial March are in these fucking trailers. Look, it's entirely possible that they wrote all this as an homage, and then thought, you know, it'd be really cool if we could get the real props to pop up. The Disney dads that play our game would really like it if they could point at the thing they recognize from their childhood. Let's hit up the lawyers we talked to the last time we did Star Wars stuff, and see if they've got any way to let us do that. But I highly doubt it. I think Star Wars insists upon itself in a way that the other crossovers just don't. Now, somehow, I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm literally just old men yelling at Cloud about this, so I asked some people I trust with no prior history with Destiny if they get my holdup. The prevailing response was, I understand, but I don't really care because I'm not as into this universe as you are, which makes sense. I'm too close to this game to be unbiased, and I'm just personally really sick of Star Wars showing up in places that I'm not looking for it. Like, Andor is sick. Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor were neat enough, even though I've got my personal problems with those games. Solo was much better than people thought it was. Like, I don't inherently hate the IP. I'm just sick of seeing Disney's grubby fucking fingerprints all over the things I enjoy. I don't know, man. We're a ways away from the full reveal, so maybe I'm wrong and it's fine, but I'm not holding my breath. I don't expect this to be something that I'm okay with. DMG has put out a couple of reassuring tweets about it, and I think that man understands the community sentiment more than anybody else, and if he is saying, hey, we understand this might be a little confusing, but I promise you it's a Destiny story. It just so happens to have a lot of the coat of paint of an IP that inspired us. I understand. I respect him enough to trust him a little bit here, because he's willing to call the game out on its bullshit, to be critical of the things and the failures and the shortcomings of Destiny and Bungie as a whole. But he is still an employee. And I still am concerned that this is just going to be Disney showing up and going, hey, remember Star Wars in an IP, in a game, in a setting that I don't want to member Star Wars in? Like, Fortnite crossovers are fine because that's the whole fucking point of Fortnite. It is it's a bunch of portals to other realities showing up and going, hey, don't you want to kill your friends in Fortnite? Don't you want to do a bunch of funny dances? Don't you want to use the lightsaber? Don't you want to use the Infinity Gauntlet? Don't you want to be Sabrina Carpenter? Like, I get that. That's Fortnite. That's its whole fucking point, right? I have no problems with Fortnite crossovers. But I would very much appreciate it if I didn't have to experience story beats in games, like paid content, paid expansions that are just, remember Star Wars? Like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm not expecting to be wrong here. What really sucks is I want to play with the No Land Beyond returning exotic, right? Like, it's New Land Beyond or whatever, and it's the pre-order bonus. But if I pre-order it, I get all the fucking Star Wars armor. And I don't want that shit on my account. I don't want to spend money on Star Wars. I don't know if I'm going to be buying Renegades. If we get closer and it turns out that Renegades is like full-on Star Wars like I fear it's going to be, I'm probably not playing. Which is crazy to me. I've said for years that I will play this game until it shuts down, but I want to play Destiny. I don't want to play Star Wars. Rough one to end it on. I apologize for bringing it down, but I am concerned and I like to... I've been trying to find a way to put this into words, and hopefully I did my opinion justice here, but I'm not excited about Star Wars showing up in other things that I enjoy. So, but with that, that's going to do it for me today. What do you guys think of all this? Star Wars, Renegades, the Edge of Fate reveal, the new content structure, anything at all that I missed or didn't talk about, or even things that I did talk about? I'd love to hear your opinions in those comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Y'all have a wonderful day.